And they didn't tell me which side is which, so I'm just going to assume that the left side, the purple side, is going to be HSL TSM Newport. And I will get this game up for you and running in just a second. Thank you so much for joining us. This is the High School Star League. I'm Zirene. I'm solo casting this today for you. This is the first round in, I believe, what will be a best of 3, unless I'm told otherwise. And this is going to be between the teams between TSM Newport and CLG Palo Alto. So, and I thank you so much, you guys, for sticking with me here, and thank you so much for whoever's messaging me in chat and telling me which team is which. So, TSM Newport is on the blue team on the left side of your screen. So, I guess I get to call them TSM and CLG, so we get to see a TSM versus CLG game today. I'm excited for that. They always put on good games. And it looks like the band's coming out here. We're going to have a new band out from CLG. Okay, that just feels weird. From CLG Palo Alto. So they're on the purple side of your screen, on the right side. And then on the blue team, on the left side, we have TSM Newport. And they're going to pick up a Janna first on Aerial Platypus. And that's, you know, just a very standard pick. Picking your support first is actually a great idea because it's harder to find counter picks to it. They didn't pick up the Blitzcrank, but it's not like picking your top first or something like that, or your mid, where something can... Oh. Well, yeah, sorry, I had to minimize chat there. Thank you so much. Once again, for... Big shout out to Liquid Melt. This guy's been helping me all this tournament, help figure things out. So he's been a big help here. Once again, while I have a moment now, we do have, this is the first game in the best of 3 of TSM Newport versus CLG Palo Alto. TSM's on your left on the blue team. We have CLG Palo Alto on the purple team on the right side of your screen. This is going to be a great game coming your ways. This is the High School Star League. And since we have a moment, you can go ahead and check out their website at hsstarleague.com. You can follow them on Twitter, and follow their stream as well if you like what you see and you want more of this. We cast games every Saturday. This is the first season, the first rounds of the first season too, so you're just seeing the baby infancy of this. So we'll have better overlays for you in the future, more production value, more consistent casters, and we'll be figuring out all of that in the future. So please stick with us, support us. If you're involved in esports in the high school scene and you want to see it grow, follow them on Twitter, like them on Facebook, and just support them on their website. So go ahead and do that. And, you know, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being in the chat. I'm Zirene. You can follow me at LOLZirene on Twitter. And, you know, we're going to have this game squared away for you in just a moment. And I'll be solo casting this and doing my darndest to help you guys out with that. So, right now we have a Lulu pick coming out as well. Very solid support. Not one of the top 3 supports that have been picked in Korea. Korea actually favors Fiddlesticks, Nami, Thresh, and I'll throw in the 4th as well, Sona. But we do see her picked up. She is a very good support. Doesn't have any sustain, but Aerial Platypus on the Janna also doesn't have any sustain to back that up as well. So whatever damage they do early game will stick. And it looks like we have a Zac coming out. Might be top lane, might be in the jungle. Zac is very effective at both the top lane and the jungle. So the Elastic Slingshot being maxed first in the jungle will help him close that distance, whereas if he lanes, he can Stretchy Strike or Unstable Matter, max those first, do a lot of damage to his lane opponent, and sustain himself too. So it'll be a hard lane for whoever he's up against. But if it's up against the Jace, then Jace is very good at long-range poke, staying in lane. He's very good at 2v1s as well, because he doesn't put himself at risk with the Acceleration Gate Shock Blasts that come their way. So Elise might also be a top laner, but I'm not quite sure about that. We've seen a lot of Jungle Elise lately as well. Jungle Elise is very strong, can use the Repel to close the distance and maybe shift out into her human form again and use a Cocoon to lock people up. So Elise is very powerful, constantly played in the LCS and in the OGN over in Korea. So not sure where she's going to go, but I don't think it's going to be a jungle Diana. So we'll probably see Elise in the jungle, Jace in the mid or top, and Diana in the mid or top as well. And then coming over onto the purple team, once again, that is CLG Palo Alto. They're picking up that Ahri in the mid lane, so it might be an Ahri versus a Diana, which is kind of a strange matchup, because Ahri gets 3 charges of her ultimate, and Diana only gets 2 charges of her ultimate if she hits somebody with their Q first. So what you're going to be seeing is her trying to burst down Ari, having Turtle try to burst down Kenny before he can get away on that third charge, use his distance closer, and then suck him in with his, I believe it's called Moon. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! I'm actually gonna have to look it up right now. I apologize to everybody. It's his E. It's a Moonfall. Thank you. Okay. So yeah. So the Moonfall coming out, actually sucking in Kenny, will prevent maybe another charge from making causing so much distance to be formed between them. So then he ends up actually being able to just burst him down in that combo. So we actually see a Singed pickup here. I don't know if it's going to be a proxy Singed. He was nerfed, but he's still very effective at what he does. So once again, as these final champions are locked in and the countdown timer is about to start, and I'll start talking about picks and team comp and things like that, want to once again give a shout out to HSL for setting this up. Follow them. Check out their website. I've been casting all day. I'm Zirene. Thank you for joining me. I don't know if you got here from Reddit or if you got here from your friends, but thank you so much for being here. Help support us, help us grow, help us, make this a bigger scene for the high school scene, because the college scene is pretty big and it's getting bigger, and the professional scene in League of Legends just needs to be as big as it possibly can be, and esports is just growing all the time. So big shout out to HSL for starting this up and being bold and very great high school students who actually just came up with this and decided to do it themselves. So it was wonderful by them. Once again, follow them, like them, follow the stream. We're here every Saturday. We might do some Sunday things as well. I believe they also cast StarCraft 2 as well, if you're really interested in that and you like that. So I don't do that, but we do have that coming your way as well. And we're going to get into this best of 3 first round between TSM Newport and CLG Palo Alto. And hopefully we have a great game coming your way. So now, talking about champion picks, it looks like it is going to be a Zac in the jungle and a Singed up top. Zac in the jungle is extremely scary, and they don't have a huge amount of follow-up for him, but Singed is just a very, very crazy initiator. Just runs up into your team, has that ghost, has the insanity potion popped, and he can slow people as well and toss them into his team. So he's just a huge disruptor. He's very hard to take down, and he's going to be tanky late game. So a lot of damage actually comes out from him as well. You don't notice it as much because it ticks away, but he's just something else that you have. He's just another thing you have to worry about in team fights. So he's very scary. And the fact that Lulu's ultimate, the Wild Growth, popped on him could slow, or does slow, everybody else around him, because it puts that little aura around you that makes it so that people around you are slowed. And then that's going to make his poison actually tick more than it would have if you hadn't been slowed by him. So he'll be able to keep you close, throw you into his team, select somebody he wants to blow up. Maybe it's Graves, maybe it's Jace. So getting to that back line. But they are going to have some good disengage on the team of Newport. So on the left. So Jace actually has really good disengage with his acceleration gate. People can walk through that, get a large speed boost that they wouldn't have had otherwise, and have Janna's passive speed boost as well. Her Howling Gale also really helps disengage fights with that tornado that just knocks people up and just says, just no, go away. And then she also has Monsoon, which is a huge hard disengage ability that really knocks people really far away and can really stop a Zac Elastic Slingshot if she times it correctly, or just use the Howling Gale to stop that as well. So coming into this game very shortly, the load screen will be up in just a moment, and the team comps overall kind of looks like blue team on the left side of your screen, Newport, just has champions that they're comfortable with. I don't know if there's really a wombo combo to this team that I can see. It really just looks like they're going to have Jace soften people up until Diana and Elise can jump in with the help of the collateral damage and buckshot as well from Graves to just blow somebody up in a matter of seconds. So Janna's there just as a little insurance to make sure that people don't hard engage on them, which looks like what purple team on CLG Palo Alto wants to do. They want to have that Zac elastic slingshot in there. Let's bounce on top of Misfortune Ramen Bowl using the bullet time across all of that. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. The game is starting right now. Well, I lied. The game is getting into load screen for the load screen. So once again, thank you so much. This is the high school league tournament. I'm Zirene. My name is right there. I'm going to be taking that down in just a second because you guys don't need to see that anymore. but I'll flash it a couple times because it's on Chase, and I love that. So, all right. So we're getting into the load screen here. Not a lot of skins coming out. We actually have Mafia Graves and Tempest Janna as well, and Augmented Singe, Mafia Misfortune, and Wicked Lulu. I actually like the Augmented Singe skin a lot. It looks a lot like Bane, but maybe, I don't know if that was intentional or not. League does a lot of references, but there's a lot of them still go over my head. So the Jace pick, I love Jace. Jace is one of my favorite champions. He's so annoying, and he's going to get changed for good reason too. He's extremely strong and extremely hard to get to. So looks like we're going to have a great game coming up here. They're loading in. Misfortune and Lulu down bottom. Lulu taking an Ignite instead of an Exhaust. Now I'm not quite sure about that. It looks like they might want to go for a kill lane over there on the Mafia Graves and the Tempest Janna, but I'm not quite sure how that's going to work out for them. They support bringing Ignite. Support's kind of a versatile role. You can bring Exhaust, Ignite, Heal to the lane. Ignite gives you more kill potential because your ADC didn't bring it, and they can stay safe with the barrier. The Exhaust brings more late game kill potential or saving. The Heal is just pure saving and baiting. And we saw X Special take that at All Stars, and it actually saved double lift a couple times up top when they did a lane swap. But we do see Laser64 right now taking that Ignite, trying to add some kill potential to his lane, and we're going to get straight into the game right now. So thank you so much for sticking with us today, and we're going to have this first game underway right now. We have TSM Newport down on the blue side, and in the purple side we have CLG Palo Alto trying to bring this home. This is the first game in a best of 3. Let's see what happens here. I don't know about the invades coming out. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw one with Misfortune and Ahri. Ahri has that charm level 1, which is just so scary, alongside of the slow from Laser64 on the Lulu. The fling possibly also displacing somebody in a very, very unfortunate situation. But MF does a lot of early game damage with that double up if she does take that first. And it looks like Muck Rush, any Muck Rush took Buckshot first. He didn't leave his ability until the last minute. He decided to take Buckshot first because if he gets engaged on, if he gets engaged on right now, he won't have the opportunity to level up Quick Draw and go over a wall or escape that situation. So he put himself into an unfavorable situation if they do invade. So he's actually going to be kind of iffy on that one. So no, but as you can see, like right now, Locked didn't actually level anything up yet. He hasn't leveled the Elastic Slingshot to say, I'm going to go engage on somebody. But he hasn't leveled up Unstable Matter or Stretchy Strike because those are more jungling utility. So he's actually left that option open for himself, or as a disengage. If somebody engages on him, he's able to Elastic Slingshot away. So still leaving his options open. Also happening with Singed up top. Hasn't selected his ability. Boxer hasn't selected his ability either on Diana. So we're really seeing this safe play from a lot of the members who think an invade might be coming out. So the possibility of an invade is always there, but we aren't going to see an invade this game. We just see some standard starts here. Locked is going to be coming up there, and we're going to have some assistance from Ramen Bowl and Laser on his blue buff. Locked still taking kind of low from that, but he's going to be able to finish that off, take his blue, hit level 2, and on the other side we have R-Turded. R-Turded. At least we don't have Nigga Please OP this game. We have R-Turded this time. So R-Turded is going to pick up his blue. Didn't actually use the spiders to tank for him the entire time. Swapped out into human form and decided to auto-attack the last things down. So he was able to... He actually took a little more damage than he should have, I believe. Because using your spider minions to tank is always something you want to do. And Turtle is going to, up in this top lane, going to have to focus on poking this Singed out early. Because Singed late game or mid game is really hard to get out of lane. So, and I will actually take this time to line things up. I apologize that I don't do that immediately every time. I wish I had a camera guy who was just made that his duty to do that. So we're actually going to see just standard starts coming out here from most players, except the Singe just starting with a cloth ward. Oh wow, so we have an engage coming in here. The fling comes after the Elastic Slingshot. The acceleration gate does happen and Turtle is able to go through it, and he does flash as well. So that is a flash blown from Turtle on the Jace. but no summoner spells blown by CLG Palo Alto. So that was a really good elastic slingshot coming out there from Locked. And I'm not sure if he actually, that was seemed like a long range to me. It was just level 1. So he was actually able to do, he's actually going to do this by himself. Or sorry, I was just reading something and I was thinking something else at the same time. He's looking for another elastic slingshot up top because there aren't any wards. He didn't get seen by that because he's hugging the bush because he knows that Turtle placed his ward down there. And Elise is coming up to help him because he knows he doesn't have flash and his lane's in trouble. He's waiting for this engage to counter engage. Arturted just hiding away. Zach actually walking away from this. Locked is going to be showing himself, well, not showing himself, but going to be taking off to Wraiths. And it looks like top lane's actually just going to be safe, so I'm going to walk away from that. And top's going to go back to the farm fest that it is. Singed is behind in CS, but Jace is going to have to play a little safer now because he is a summoner spell down, which is crucial flash. So, and that is a 5-minute cooldown. We have an elastic slingshot coming in. He doesn't get it onto Boxer, but the charm is good. Kenny does a lot of damage to Boxer right now, but I don't think he's going to be able to finish him off. Arturted is here and might give Boxer this false sense of security that he needs to actually end up giving a kill over. I'm not sure if that was a great idea by Diana to come walking back in there, but it seems to work for him. Locked, elastic slingshotting into the middle of the lane once again. Just to make his presence known, just say, Boxer, I'm still here. You're going to have to back away and give up some CS to this Ahri. So he's letting him have that lane to himself. Once again, Turtle up 10 CS over Singed, doing a great job right now. But down bottom, we have MF 6 CS ahead of Graves. Graves did back and bought that early Vamp Scepter to help himself sustain in lane. So he won't be poked out as quickly or as easily as he was previously. And I think Turtle might be looking to be here soon. He doesn't have flash. He wants to push this lane as quickly as he can so that he can get it to turret, get himself back, and then buy, and then get back to lane without losing any CS to that turret. So I believe that might be his plan, and that's what I'm thinking it is. He doesn't have flash, so he's not feeling safe right now. And down bottom, they're just freezing this lane. So Aerial Platypus alongside Rush, or I don't know how to say that, Numeric Rush? Numic Rush? I don't know. But Numic Rush freezing that lane, not doing MF any favors, saying this lane's going to stay like this so that we can get ganks, because that's what we need right now. We need this game in somebody's favor. I'm tired of this stalemate. They are CSing better. They are 500 gold up just purely from CS on the side of TSM Newport, which is the blue side, over CLG Palo Alto, which is the purple side right now. So Diana actually going to farm Wraiths right now, so that's actually a good pickup by her. We have some harass coming down bottom for both sides. Numic Rush doing a lot of damage with that buckshot, but Aerial Platypus taking more harass than he should have, and the Vamp Scepter is on both ADCs right now, so they aren't going to be pushed out of lane that easily, despite not having a support that doesn't provide them with sustain. So they're doing a great job there, and as Directed Camera likes to show me, Locked is going to just be farming those wolves, but he is down near the bottom lane, whereas Elise, Arturted is up top, looking for a top gank. There is no ward there. The ward expired. I don't know if they know that or not, or if he has really good timing and sense. But he's going to see this Singed place a ward here, but there's... Ooh. He hits level 5. He sees him. He's just going to play it safe and say, you know what, I see him, that's fine. He throws out the Q, he gets the Cocoon. The acceleration gate is good. They throw down the Ignite, the ultimate from Singed coming out as well, and the Ghost, so he's just going to run away from this. They aren't going to be able to chase him down, but that is an ultimate and a Ghost blown from Singed in return for an Ignite. No flash is blown. Flash for Turtle is going to be up soon, but that means that he's going to have flash over CMI. So, looks like down bottom though, oh wow, so Locked is going to take the blue for himself. He's not going to hand it off to OHD Kenny. So Boxer might actually have a lane advantage now because he's going to have blue for himself. And Ahri has high mana costs, or high base mana costs, which means you have to buy those Doran rings on her for those extra mana, for that extra mana regen and the mana per kill to keep yourself into lane. But she doesn't have a blue now, so she's at half mana, and that opens up Boxer to go ahead and poke and actually have his damage stick and have lower cooldown. So he's going to have a good time here in this mid, unless he gets ganked. So I'm not going to ahead of myself. I'm going to just throw out that little disclaimer. But OHD Kenny also does spell vamp off of her passive when she uses spells. So every 9 spells, or every 9 hits of her spells, she'll be able to spell vamp up a little bit, which means that because she doesn't have the blue, she also doesn't have infinite HP as well. So right now, still that 500 gold lead for Newport on the blue side over Palo Alto on the purple side. So this game is still at this early game stage. We haven't seen a turret pushed. We haven't seen a dragon. We haven't seen a kill come out either. So these teams playing it pretty safe, saying, I want to solidify a CS lead before I try anything crazy. And it's working out right now for Newport. And down bottom, we just have some blows exchanged. Rush doesn't have a lot of mana in his mana pool in comparison to Ramen Bowl. So he's actually looking, I don't know if he's using Buckshot to try and harass, but it's definitely costing him because MF is just going to heal up that damage with her Vamp Scepter, and then that mana comes back slower for Rush. So he's not going to have as much mana if they do go all in a full engage. On the inverse, though, Lulu does have less mana coming her way, so she has a little less mana than Ariel, and mana is something that a lot of people don't pay attention to, but it's very important. Sometimes you don't even notice that you're out of mana, like Graves is right now. And Ramen Bowl could take advantage of the situation, although Rush isn't at the point where he can't use his ultimate and a buckshot, but it doesn't look like they're going to push them out or take advantage of that at all. And they're still at 500 gold lead, or I guess 400, 500 gold lead. Nothing really too substantial for Newport. So the game is just progressing. These people are just ramping up their character builds, and it's just going to start going that way. So I have no idea what we're going to see here. Once again, up top, this farm happening in the favor of Turtle. He isn't CSing extraordinarily well, 66 at 10 minutes, but he's CSing better than Singed. But that gold, I believe, is actually worth more on Singed because his passive makes things more gold effective. His passive gives him HP from mana that he has, so that tier that he has that he's ramping up also gives him HP every time that he charges it. So the item is actually worth more on him. When you look at stats for items, you think of how gold effective they are, how cost effective they are. And on Singed, everything is even more cost effective because they give him more stats. They give him more HP. You buy mana, you get more HP. You buy a Rod of the Ages, gives you mana and HP, but it gives you even more mana, which gives you even more HP. Sorry, from the mana that's there. So they're just doing a great job right now. Looks like bottom's actually going to get poked out, and top actually has Zach waiting in the wings. Locked is ready with that elastic slingshot. CMI almost got the fling off. He's looking for it. He's trying to bait him. He knows that Turtle is bloodthirsty. Turtle has CMI down to half HP, so he's really looking for that engagement there. He has the ghost back up, so he can disengage if he wants to, and they have no idea of what's going on. Zach was up top, but he's not there anymore. And CMI is once again under his turret and in a bad situation. I think he's calling Zach back, but Zach says, no, I gotta go mid. So Zach actually gonna go farm the wolves instead, so. But no, these builds that we're seeing coming out, looks like Jace wants to rush that Mana Mune and turn that into a Muramana and spike his mid-game power, because once you finish that on Jace, every charge actually uses, you can proc Muramana 3 times with the use of his W, his hypercharge, which is extremely effective and a huge source of his teamfight damage with its low cooldown and its the ability to proc Manamune over and over again. So that's a very strong ability that you end up getting for teamfights later on. And Boxer actually getting caught out here, not getting hit by the charm from Kenny, but does actually follow up with a Q and actually hits Kenny with it. So he takes a little more damage. The elastic slingshot wasn't able to actually make contact. So it was a good try, but slowly but surely there's a 1k gold lead in the favor of Newport, which is the blue team. So Palo Alto not CSing as well as they would like to be, I assume. So this is just looking like it might get further and further just off this gold lead, but 1,000 gold lead isn't a huge deal this early in the game, or even at any point in the game. A gold lead like that is very minimal, but it looks like Turtle is doing a lot of work on this top turret, and he's forcing the Singed to take a lot of damage and just stick around, because or else he's going to lose the turret. And the thing I'm noticing is Turtle is actually maxing his hypercharge second. He's maxing his W second for, I assume, what's going to be mid-game power, as well as taking down turrets. Because W is such a great ability later on in the game, and it also takes turrets so quickly, like I was saying earlier, But the problem with that is he doesn't have the reduced... Oh, never mind. Looks like Locked going to jump on Turtle. Looks like the repel comes out as well. They jump onto Locked, get him down to about half HP, and there's going to be a lot of fighting coming here very soon. That turret is in danger, and Turtle's looking for it. But like I was saying a second ago, they took off the reduced cooldown of Acceleration Gate per rank, so maxing W is viable now, but it means you don't get the extra damage on your Thundering Blow, your E. And it looks like Turret is going to check this bush. He finds a Kenny there. Kenny using the Spirit Rush over and over again to try and close that distance. The first blood comes out for Locke, but they're all very low. In the back, we have Singe getting picked up, but Kenny has no way of escaping now. He used all of his charges. The Ignite's going to come down, and it is a kill for Diana. Boxer picks that one up, but over here we have a very low Zac under turret, and we're trying to get Shock Blast from Turtle over there, but he's not going to be able to, and that is a 2-for-1 exchange in the favor of Newport. And they saw that coming. They put themselves in that situation, though. R-Turted was running up to that bush, face-checked it, found a wild Ahri, and then Ahri ended up dying for that. He used all of the charges of his Spirit Rush to get there to finish off R-Turted and do the damage to him that would just take him to 0. But then he ran out of charges of Spirit Rush, which, like I said before, Boxer is going to wait for that. Boxer's going to use his Q and then rush after him with his R. Just follow him up, use it twice, and then it forced the flash from Kenny as well. But Boxer didn't have to flash. He just used his R once again and ignited him and walked away from that. So that's going to be huge for this mid lane. Boxer's going to have his flash up. Kenny is not going to have his flash or ignite up for this one. So once they get back to lane, we're going to see that difference play itself out. They are even in CS, but there are 2 kills in the favor of Diana, and Diana did pick up a null, not a null magic mantle, sorry, a Negatron cloak, both starting with M. So he picks that one up, and it looks like they saw that R-Turret is down bottom, so Zac's going to come answer that, and not show himself, but make himself, not make himself known, but just have some presence for his team around the dragon, because they are doing the dragon. He knows that's being done. We see Diana coming in there, but we see Locke jumping in there, has the Let's Bounce available, uses it. The taunt from Ahri comes across, but also the bullet time comes across as well, and softens them all up, and they do pick up one, and oh, Boxer trying to get Kenny there, but Kenny might be able to take him down now, and he does take him out there, and Locked used the Elastic Slingshot to once again get over the wall and get that last bit of HP out from Janna. So, I mean, not from Janna, sorry. Just was trying to chase down R-Turted, but wasn't able to. R-Turted still looking for the risky play here. Misses the cocoon, throws the W spider, but doesn't go over the wall. It actually walks around the volatile spiderling. And they're looking for the smite, and they get it. So that was exactly what CLG Palo Alto needed to get back into this. The purple team needed that type of engagement. They were able to just stack them all up, use the Let's Bounce and the bullet time on top of each other, like I had said in Champion Select. And they make it back to a 500 goal difference, once again, in the favor of Newport blue side. So they are doing a great job of just keeping that advantage, although it's very small. But that was a bad situation for them. But they were able to still keep a lead despite losing the dragon and 2 members of their team for nothing. So they just had that much of a lead earlier. And that turret was taken by Jace up top, so that's how they were able to do that. That turret was answered with a dragon, though, so still very even. Anybody's game at this point, and that is 1 dragon in favor of Palo Alto, which will be up and again in 6 minutes. So hopefully they're keeping timers on that, and hopefully they beef themselves up, because that was not an extremely smart play by them. They grouped up for that AoE comp that they were running with that bullet time, and MF looking really strong there. Finished the Bloodthirster already, but Graves has also done the same. Has no assist under his belt like the MF has, but they have the exact same builds coming out here. Bloodthirster, Greaves, Doran's Blade, and some potions in their belt, just in case. I don't think they're going to be needing them, though, with the Bloodthirsters just being such great lifesteal items. And this bottom turret is in danger of going down for Palo Alto, and he goes, Laser tries to ward, but he gets blown up because of the cocoon from R-Turted, but also the collateral damage as well. But OHD Kenny is down bottom, and they have rotated this. The Zac is now middle, trying to hold that lane because Kenny was looking for a gank down bottom, but he wasn't going to get it. Lulu was warding just to make sure, but she warded a little too late. If she had warded earlier, it might have been exactly what she wanted, but once again, 1.5k gold lead for Newport currently. And they might be looking to steal this blue now. Oh, OHD Kenny has a Spirit Rush going. Use the final charge after the taunt, the charm, to actually lock him up. And whoa, Lock jumps over the wall, finds something he wasn't expecting, and that's an Elise and a Diana. And he's going to get blobbed. He's cell divisioned right now, but his team is trying to come up very quickly. The bullet time coming across. OHD Kenny onto the no mana Boxer, and I don't think he's realized this yet, but Graves comes over the wall, has a lot of damage, and he flashes. Kenny flashes out of that one, so only Zach going to be picked up for that, but Janna as well. So 1-for-1 exchange, keeping the gold still at 1.5k. Nobody took the blue, so I believe the blue is safe and is going to get handed over to RE. No, wait, no, I speak too soon. I speak too soon. The blue ended up on Elise, I believe. I believe he did smite it away. So they did a really great job there, and they were able to pick that one up. And once again, Newport just pulling away with that CS. They're almost 2k gold ahead at this point because of just pure CS. And Jace doing work top lane. He is doing a lot of damage to that turret because he's maxing that W first. He gets it so quickly. So this is some really smart play by him. Picks it up again and starts engaging onto Locked right now. He says, I can take you. Let's bounce coming out, but Cinch is there as well. The flash comes out from Locked to try and re-engage this, but Elise is there as well. The repel comes on. They look like they want Locked, but CLI going to be chasing him down. The Ignite is there. Is going to get him. No, he is running away for his life right now. The Ghost is popped. He does hit him with the Thundering Blow to try and get him out of there, but the flash was blown earlier and he gets flung and killed. Meanwhile, we did actually have Elise, our turret, take Locked down, and Locked had no cell division available and actually just locked up there. So he got killed. And now Noomboxer, both APs are at no mana. Both have no mana, but Boxer does have a blue buff in his favor, so they might continue to push this. But it looks like they're just going to tax the jungle more. They're going to take the red buff, as well as the blue buff they had taken earlier, away from Locked and Zac. They know he's not up. They know he can't smite this away. And Archer is just having a great day right now, being 2 levels ahead of Locked because of this, because of his ganks, because of how much work he's doing. And he's going tank Elise as well, which is something you see very often in the jungle. So very good play there. Very, very good realizing that his team needs that tanky initiator, that they need somebody to be a wall for Jace, somebody to take the hits so that Diana can dive in a little later after people have been softened up. So very good pickup there, picking to go for the selfless AP, I mean not AP, sorry, it's the selfless tanky build for Elise as opposed to the AP build. She does very well with tank because she has percent HP damage on her Q in both human form and in spider form, each with a different variation on how much damage does as a bonus to the 8% of the person's missing HP or current HP. It's current HP when you use Neurotoxin, but then when you change over and you use the Spider Bite, then, and it's not actually called Spider Bite, but use her Q in spider form, it does percent of their current missing HP. So it does more the lower that they are. So she is very good at finishing people, very good at taking advantage of jumping in later and getting into the back line as well with her repel. So it's a very scary situation. There are 5 members of CLG Palo Alto grouped up right now under the turret. There is a taunt onto Boxer. They are going to tower dive this. Boxer does flash away, but the Let's Bounce is on top of that, and she tries to dive onto people, do some damage, and she gets taken out there, but Locked gets taken out underneath the turret by Jace. So they are collapsing onto this very quickly. Our turret does get hit by a charm, and we have the flash coming out from Numic Rush. Does he have the collateral damage? He doesn't. He used it, but oh wow, Kenny does get the charm and the Spirit Rush as well, and the Ignite comes out, and it's enough to stop the Monsoon from healing him for just enough. Ramen Bowl flashes in, uses the double up, and actually takes out Rush right there. Jace doing a lot of damage with his W, the Hypercharge, but not actually being able to take anybody out there. And that's a 2-for-1 exchange in the favor of Palo Alto, and they did a very great job there. But although they did a good job there, they are still 4k gold behind because of those 4 turrets that that Newport's been able to pick up. Newport is 4k gold ahead, down 1 kill, but also they have 4 turrets not in their favor. And because there's a pause, I'm going to take a drink of water. I apologize for that. Solo casting is actually very hard. It's much harder than people make it out to be, because you have to cover both the analysis portion and you have to cover the play-by-play. And there really aren't a lot of breaks in between for yourself. If you want to keep people engaged and involved, you really have to give it your all, and that's what I'm doing right now. So thank you guys so much for sticking with me. So once again, we're getting back to this game. Very brief pause coming out, and hopefully everything's just sorted out, and the Dragon is back up once again. And we're going to see probably a contestant here, but they do see that Diana is top for Newport, so they might be able, they do ping it. They do say, Diana's top, we can take this. We don't need to, you know, and if they come, it's a 4v5 situation, and that's a situation that they want. But two of their members did back for Palo Alto, so Palo Alto doesn't have their Singed or their MF, and that is going to be not a great situation for them, because that's going to give them a Diana enough time to come down to the Dragon Pit. And it looks like everybody's converging right now. They do have a pink ward for Newport. So Graves picking up that red as well. Like I've been seeing all game, Jace at 177 CS over the Singed, who has 105. I said earlier that the mana does turn into extra HP for him, but he just doesn't have enough money to even buy those first couple of items that he needs. So he's not going to be able to pick up a Rod of the Ages at all this game. So if he picked it up now, it would be way too late, because it ramps up over time, and it's just too late in the game to pick it up, considering that the game probably won't go for another 15 minutes. But Kenny does get a nice charm onto Noomboxer. The acceleration gate comes across, so he's not going to have that poke available for a while. Locked getting burst down immediately, but the bullet time coming across the blobs. We have Kenny trying to take out Turtle right now, but Turtle jumps onto the blobs. CMI trying to do damage to everybody who tries to get on Zach, and he's trying to lead our turret on a chase, but Ramen Bowl got dived by Diana over there, and it actually didn't work out. He was actually able to burst him down and have the Wild Growth actually take that out, and the Repel's just going to expire. Ramen Bowl's going to pick that up, and we turn to the final parts of this fight with Kenny trying to chase down Aerial Platypus. He's not going to be able to, and the Dragon's going to go in favor of CLJ Palo Alto, and that's exactly what they need right now. That is a 1-for-3 exchange and a Dragon picked up for them. If they can actually finish it right now, I think they're able to. MF with the Bloodthirster is able to. So yeah, they pick it up, no problem right there, and that is the second Dragon for CLG Palo Alto, and that makes them once again 3k gold behind, which is huge. They just haven't picked up any turrets. They haven't been doing a lot, and it's just really something that is showing purely through the CS and through the objective control that they've had on turrets. Two Dragons have gone to CLG Palo Alto, but 4 turrets have gone to Newport. So that's 4 for 0, and Dragons are worth about 1 turret apiece. We'll just call it about that. There are some gold, a little bit of gold differentiation on who kills the Dragon and the total worth of it. But it's not enough to make up for the CS difference or the turret difference. They would basically have 2 turrets, 3 kills up on them, but so much CS as well. Graves is 50 CS ahead of MF. Just 12 CS difference between Diana and Ari, with Diana ahead. Elise is 30 CS ahead of Zach, and there's 80 CS difference, 80, 73 difference between Singed and Jace. So all around, Newport is CSing immensely better than Palo is at this point in the game. But the team fighting is going in favor of Palo. So if I was Palo, I'd want to have more team fights. That seems to be the way to go. Have more team fights, take people out, get them into those death chamber timers so that they aren't allowed to, or sorry, they aren't around to stop you from pushing turrets. So they really, really want to team fight. They have a better team fight composition. Ramen Bowl, despite not having a great laning phase, is having a wonderful team fight phase, going 3-0 and 5 on MF, and picking up pure damage on her too. Picking up the Last Whisper and Bloodthirster, which means he doesn't have any attack speed, besides the Berserker's Greaves, which doesn't matter, because MF is basically a walking ultimate. Her bullet time does so much damage, and it's based off of AD. So the more damage you get, and the Last Whisper on top of that with the armor shredding, means her ultimate becomes that more effective. MF, you don't need to build attack damage until later in the game. Most carries, you see them pick up, like Graves is right now, you see them pick up a Bloodthirster, then a Zeal for attack speed, and then maybe an IE or Phantom Dancer, Last Whisper. You have some options there. Oops. But he picks up the Last Whisper instead. So a Brutalizer also coming out here for MF, which is it's something that we used to see a lot of at the beginning of Season 3. Season 3, we had a lot of that because it shreds armor as well, and the Black Cleaver will apply when you turn it into a Black Cleaver, it'll apply the 4 charges immediately when you use bullet time, because it applies on every wave to the entire team. Everybody you hit with that bullet time is going to take that shredded armor from the Black Cleaver, so it's really effective on her, plus the cooldown reduction as well as some extra damage on top of that. So Misfortune, basically a walking ultimate, doing a great job there, and like I was saying, he's been positioning himself fantastically. He has been in 80% of these. He has 80% kill participation currently. There have been 10 kills on his team. He has been involved in 8 of them, and that is just showing how much he has been doing for his team. But also at the same time, we see 80% kill participation for Kenny as well with that roaming. So he's been roaming bottom and being involved in those kills, and it's really been where that stuff has been happening, is that dragon bottom area. And they pick up the first turret for themselves on Palo, and they're 1.5k gold ahead and 3 kills ahead, but they're 1.5k gold behind and 3 kills ahead, but they, like I've been saying, they just don't team fight as well on Newport's side. Looks like Palo's doing a better job at actually executing the way that executing the strategy the way their comp is meant to be played. So their engagements are looking really solid, and they're just a really great job of making everything fly in their favor. Aerial Platypus, with the disengages, isn't actually doing as well as he should with that Monsoon. His positioning isn't ideal, but you know, hopefully things turn out for him better in the future. And right now we're seeing the poke come out from Jace. We're seeing that shredding coming out, and he opts actually to take a Black Cleaver immediately instead of a Last Whisper, and that's actually something that you don't usually see. You usually see a Brutalizer and then a Last Whisper immediately picked up on the Jace. Because the effectiveness of Black Cleaver applies with the W, he's going to stack that up on somebody immediately and shred their armor, make it so that if somebody's within that 500 range of Jace, which is his auto attack while he's in the Mercury Cannon form, that they actually take 3 hits plus his normal auto attack, and then they have their armor completely shredded. So it's a good pickup on him actually, because of the new changes to Jace, where Acceleration Gate's cooldown is no longer affected by its rank. It looks like he's really favoring that hypercharge. So he's doing a great job there, and he's really just focusing on that, focusing on making his W as beefy as possible. So the team of Newport right now is actually going to start pushing up that middle lane, and Palo is going to be coming to answer that creep wave. Dragon is no longer available. Palo did pick it up, but there's a large CS wave down bottom for Rush to pick up. And oh, we see the charm coming out, but he gets cocooned at the same time. The acceleration gate is good, but Kenny, using the Spirit Rush to try and get there, uses all of the charges, but R-Tarted actually just gets away from that with the use of his flash. So really well played there by both sides. The Spirit Rush will be down, but flash is a longer cooldown, so it is worth it for the team of Palo. So looks like they might be looking to do Baron currently. They do have an Oracle's on Laser 66, or 64. I'll just call him Lazar. So Lazar does have that Oracle's. He is checking the Baron pit. He's going to check for wards. Have your team with you when you check for wards. Don't let the support go by themselves. This is a solo queue mistake I see all the time, is when the support goes by himself. He'll get caught out this late in the game at 29 minutes. The death timers are about 40 seconds, and that's enough to allow somebody to push your turret all the way down. So it's going to be very risky, but they aren't actually going to do Baron. So they're going to allow Jace to just farm up the top, having almost double the CS of Singed, but that just shows the power of Singed right now. Singed is just still relevant to this game, running around, being a team fight, and a very big nuisance with that Rylai's Crystal Scepter. So he's also opted to take the armor boots because he was fighting Jace, but also because of Grace. And we have the Elastic Slingshot coming in from Locke, the Let's Bounce coming around as well. Gonna hit R-Turret with the bullet time coming across, only hitting Boxer, and HSL Division does come out, and they want to protect him. They want to protect Zach. He's very low. Kenny trying to get in there. He does get the charm onto Boxer. The disengage is late, and that's a 1-for-0 pickup in the favor of Palo once again. Boxer just taken out there. Looks like they aren't going to take advantage of that death timer though. And blue team, Newport's actually just going to continue to push up right now and actually just try and secure more turrets for themselves. They are doing a great job of keeping the pressure on. They are 2k gold ahead despite all of the dragons they've lost, the 2 dragons, and now only 3 turrets ahead. as opposed to the 4 earlier, but they are just losing these team fights every time despite that gold lead. And if this is telling of what's going to happen later on in the game, it's a little grim for Newport. Because they have a lead right now, but they're still losing team fights. What would happen if Palo Alto gains a lead off of a dragon? That just means the team fights are going to be even more in their favor, because you can't change how well your team fights extremely quickly, or with the comp. The comp is all champ select, so that's something that you can't remedy immediately. You have to work on your positioning over time, or if they get lucky and they catch somebody out, that's really what they're looking for. But their team is just, it's in a bad situation. They do have a lead, and that's great for them, but their team fighting isn't as wonderful as you would expect from a team that's had a lead the entire game. So what's been going on here is, if you're just tuning in for some reason, I would shake my finger at you and say, why haven't you been here all day? As I've been here all day, and I've been having a fun time, and it looks like Locked gonna jump in there. Our turret doesn't actually get hit with the charm. Locked flashes with the Let's Bounce. He's trying to get to that back line. He does get taken out there, but the ultimate coming out from Ramen Bowl, the bullet time coming across. There is a charm coming out as well, and it looks like Ramen Bowl gonna try to push down and get on the Boxer right now. Try to take him out. Rush does take out Singe there, and this is looking really good for Newport. They want that final kill. Just needs to get a little bit of distance left, and he does throw out the W, and he gets it. And that is an ace. And that is the team fight they were looking for. Zach, Locked, getting a little too ambitious there, jumps in with the elastic slingshot onto the entire team of Newport. Despite them having that gold lead and the item advantage, he tries to get to the back line. He overextends himself. Rush is very strong. Rush has been CSing very well all game. He is at 298 at 33 minutes. So he has been doing very well for himself, and also has those turrets as well. And like you see it right now, Rush is doing a lot of damage to Locked. Not chunking him, not getting any crits, but still doing a lot of damage. And once again, Locked jumping in there, being very ambitious, trying to keep them up. But Rush says, I'm having none of that. I'm going to just lifesteal myself back up with this Bloodthirster. So he's doing fine. He's doing really well for himself. And they almost even the kills up. Take a middle inhibitor and all those turrets as well. So 5k gold lead coming out for Newport Blue, and this might be the snowball they've been wanting. Although they haven't been getting Dragon, they've been doing very well this entire game. So hopefully for them, they're going to be seeing more and more gold fly their way. There is a Dragon up currently, and I don't know if it's just their style to let those Dragons slide, but I don't think they need it right now. They don't need it. They can contest it and put the team of Palo Alto into a bad situation if they want to, if they deny them vision and take it. But Locked, very kind of, I don't know how to put this, but he's 3 levels behind Elise. He's had his buffs consistently stolen, and he's just not doing the work for his team in team fights that he should be doing. He was elastic slingshotting in and not peeling for his team with the Let's Bounce, but instead engaging on a team that's actually ahead. So blue team, Newport, picking up that Dragon right now, putting themselves even further in the lead at 6.5k gold in their favor. So they want to push this bottom turret now. Because they do have super minions trickling down the middle, they're able to push off side waves with these boosted minions that have extra stats. Like when you take when you take any inhibitor, it adds stats to your minions as well. And once again, we see Locke jumping in with the elastic slingshots, trying to start a fight. That's a great bullet time across multiple people, but OHD Kenny gets bursted down there, and we have Numic Rush trying to do damage here. That is, so far 2 members of blue team have been downed. Numic Rush trying to avoid the Singe. He does take him down. He is on a rampage, trying to get... He does get locked down before. He does flash in and use the quick draw to try and close that distance, but Lazar64 gets away with his own flash and the movement speed increase for himself, and they are going to get this turret for TSM Newport. Wow, they evened up the kills right there, and that was a 4-for-3 exchange and a turret. But Turtle, look at how much damage he does to this turret with his W. He hasn't rolled it yet, but he uses it right now, just chunks it twice. He's waiting for that minion wave. And with Jace, you can actually pop your W before you get to the turret, and the cooldown begins. before you use all 3 charges. And it's only a 4-second cooldown, so it's up again immediately, and he uses it on the inhibitor. So Jace, they are changing that in the next patch, though. You can no longer roll it like that, because what you can do right now is hit it, wait 2 seconds, run up to the turret, hit it 3 times, hit it again. So you basically hit the turret 6 times in 2 seconds. And what Hypercharge does at max rank is 130% of your AD per hit, so at 2.5 attack speed. So effectively, you do 390% of your attack damage, plus the Muramana, doesn't affect towers though, plus the Muramana every 1.5 seconds, or 1.2 seconds. It's 1.2 seconds of damage because it's 2.5 attack speed, and that's 130% of your damage, so it's 390% of your damage in 1.2 seconds. If you use it twice, you end up doing double that. You end up doing 780% of your attack damage in 2.4 seconds. So that is incredible damage from Jace, plus the Muramana on top of that if you're looking at bursting down a champion. So being within 500 range of Jace is very scary, just because he maxed that W first. I personally don't max it first. I still max E first, and because of the laning phase, because E is so good for trades, because it does percent HP magic damage. So when you in his Mercury Hammer form. So right now, it looks like they're just actually denying vision of the Baron and baiting it right now. So Newport says, I have an advantage. We also have an Oracle's, so they're trying to disengage this Baron. Not doing a great job of it, though, so that Platypus can jump back in there and clear that ward up. So looks like they're going to be sitting tight right now. The Glitter Lance does come out to aggro Baron, so Aerial Platypus is going to take some damage right there. And we're having the Baron dance happen. But they have 2 inhibitors down for Palo Alto, and MF is going to have to answer for that down bottom. And they see that there are super minions pouring into their base, and MF is not there. So if they do engage on this, it'll be a 4v5 in the favor of Newport. So it looks like they're just going to take this Baron, and they're going to be happy with that. So Zach probably going to jump in. Yeah, he does jump in. Locked. That is his style. He is jumping in every time that he can. Every chance. Even if it's not the smartest idea. And we do have a charm landing on Turtle, but no follow-up on that. Probably the best, because the Shock Blast with an acceleration gate was coming straight down that aisle. And they have an inhibitor respawning for Paulo currently. So they might be able to hold this off long enough, but it does look like it's going to be very hard for them to do so. It is almost a 10k gold lead, 9k gold currently, in the favor of Newport. So, our charm comes out on New Boxer, and once again, Locke jumping in there, using a Let's Bounce. I don't know if he has Cell Division up right now, but the bullet time coming across multiple members, not doing as much damage as it was early game. And it looks like we're going to have the Repel come in for the kill, and it's 2 for 1 currently. Numa Rush doing a lot of damage to Ramen Bull. He does pick him up with a crit at the end there, and that is a quadra kill. Oh no, it's just a triple kill for him. Kenny got out of that, and Jace actually picked up the other kill, and it looks like this is going to be game for Newport Blue with a 20k gold, 18k gold lead. Sorry, 13k gold. I can't count right now. 13k gold lead, taking the Nexus down in this best of 3. This is the first game that goes to Newport Blue on the blue side. Oh, wow, that was a great game. That's HSL, the High School Star League, coming at you right there. I don't know if we're going to get into the next game right now, but oh, wow.